Dr. Muhammad Adrees is from the Muslim Council of Scotland, and the film's executive producer is Malik Schleabach, and he is live in our London newsroom tonight. Thank you very much for your time on the programme. Just first of all then, to you, Muhammad, just set out for us, we touched on it ever so slightly there, but just tell us why this film is so offensive.
Muslim Council of Scotland is an umbrella organization, and we represent more than 100 mosque Islamic centers and Muslim organizations throughout Scotland. And this organization represents all Sunni, Shia, and all whatever denomination you say, because we have our Shia brothers. The vice chair is Shia, secretary is Shias. And the Muslims across Scotland are very upset because of the disrespect shown to the companions of the Prophet. And the lady, the Aisha Raziyallahu Ta'ala, and peace be upon her, she is the iconic lady for Muslims. Along with the Hazrat Fatima Salamullah Alayha, she is the best of the ladies in Islamic in history, and she is not only the daughter of Rasul, the Prophet of Muhammad, peace be upon him. She is the one who is iconic for every lady across the globe, and particularly for the Muslims. And she has her own status in Islam, and depicting her condition as well as disrespecting the companions of Prophet and trying to show the face of the Rasul, Prophet of Muhammad, peace be upon him, is not acceptable throughout Islamic world.
Sure.
So this is not a freedom of speech. This is more of creating differences among the communities. And Muslim Council of Scotland has been working hard for decades to keep the communities together.
Well, we'll come on to that in just a second. Let's just go and hear from Malik there. We've just heard that your film's disrespectful.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think, to be honest, the audacity of your guests to try to speak for Muslims worldwide in such a blanket way, it's quite bonkers, I have to be honest. I think everyone from your general public, Muslim and non-Muslim, know that every religion, including the religion of Islam, is very broad, complex, varied religion, different interpretations, different views. The topic on Prophet Muhammad himself, peace be upon him, and his family, in terms of depicting him, there's a plethora of views across the Muslim world. Some say you can, some say you can't, some are in the middle. So it's not as black and white as your host tries to make it out to be. And this is the problem we have in some of the Muslim communities, where they think the world revolves around them, where they can dictate to others their interpretations of Islam. And this doesn't apply to non-Muslims, let alone to Muslims. So I ask your guest, do I have a right to express myself in art forms or other forms about my beliefs of the religion? And I'll be very honest with you. To be honest, the issue here isn't actually a depiction of the Prophet. The issue is that this film portrays and reveals the historical truth of how Abu Bakr and Umar murdered the Lady of Heaven, Lady Fatima, peace be upon her, along with her father, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family. And they don't want this truth to come out. You see the radicals protesting all over London, chanting death threats, infidel Shia, threatening managers at cinemas, because they don't want this truth to come out. Because if people know about this truth, then we will discover where ISIS originates from. And they do originate from Abu Bakr and Umar, these historical figures. And the film, you should know, is not based on one specific narrative. Yes, we are Shia representing this film, but everything in the history in the film can be traced back to a historical text from the books that your the host here with you takes from. So this is history, and they don't want to discuss it.
Yeah, just your response to that then, Muhammad. We're here in the UK, and people can have their views, and you're being accused, the protesters being accused outside those cinemas down south of behaving like thugs and bullies.
First of all, my honorable friend is calling other people, and he's saying that he's representing. I can ask him how many mosques he represents in London, how many people he represents. He has been elected by. You tell me, how can you say that this is? I will say. Hold on a second. Listen to me, please. Listen to me. You spoke now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sir.
Now, the Lady of Heaven,
Well, you
for
asked me
me,
a question, sir. If I could just answer, if I could answer the question.
The
You said
Fatima
how many mosques?
Salamullah alayha, she is the queen of the ladies of the heaven. She is not only lady of the heaven. This is what for me theologically. And then you are saying that you are blaming Umar and Abu Bakr straight away that they are killers. And this is all untrue, and this is history. You made it,
let's hear
and
Malik's response to that,
your
Mohammed.
person who
So
is
if I can address your
author
question,
of
sir,
this
if I can address
film,
your
he
question,
made
sir,
it.
you don't
There
have
is
to
nothing.
agree.
There is
Malik,
nothing
agree.
written on the
Mohammed, let's
history.
just hear
One
what
moment, you have to answer.
Malik has got to say.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with me. The point is, we are in Britain here. Everyone has their own views and can express them. You ask me how many mosques I represent. It doesn't matter, sir.
Yeah, it matters.
No, I'll answer you, sir. I can
No, you're
represent,
saying that you're
sir,
representing most of the people. You're saying
no, sir.
I'm
Even
telling you,
if, sir,
I'm
I can
representing
represent
more than 100 mosques.
Mohammed, let's just let Malik have his response here.
I can represent only myself.
Yes,
if that was the case.
but you have no right. You have no right to abuse my mother, Aisha.
If that was the case,
you have no right to abuse my mother.
Myself, that would be sufficient for me to have the freedom to express my views.
This is not a freedom.
But, sir, I represent Enlightened Kingdom Production Company. I am part of a non-profit charity that does Shia education, Muslim education. We work with volunteers across the world. I've worked with doctors in universities. I've worked with professors. I've worked with children clubs. I've worked with Shia across the UK and across the world, sir.
I'm very keen to know about the author of this film.
There are hundreds of millions of people that agree with the views in this film. So I represent those hundreds of millions of people.